Hello, beautiful people. It's your girl Rocqi, your revolutionary hippie from LifeIsRocqi. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Please subscribe and help me get monetized. And welcome to my first episode in my Mommy Fever series. This series is going to be my journey to and through motherhood. Whew. That is this first time doing the series, so it's reflecting in moment how that feels, and like holy fucking shit is really the reaction, because I had my freak out last year, and that was we were spending, because it was quarantine, it was a pandemic, we were spending more time, my fiance and I, with our cousin and our niece, right? So our niece turned 4 this year, so she was 3 last year. And we would just go to nature parks and just hang out with her and her mom. And as I was watching her mom, who was total mom goals for me, by the way, just like interact with her, even when it came to, you know, our niece getting mad and what to do in that circumstance, or our niece not listening and what to do in that circumstance, or when our niece fell down when we were outside and what to do in that circumstance. Like how she was responding was showing me how much effort it was going to take as far as growing within myself, making sure that I have my own emotional regulation together, the way I can teach regulation to them, as well as coping skills and what to do with discipline and consequences, as far as, you know, we're not trying to spank. So like legit in moments, the kind of parenting that my fiance and I want to have, right? And because of the depth of that, add on that children are usually underfoot of mama, right? So, especially because I plan to stay home with them. So, the depth of that. And then it's like, once I embark, there's no going back. I'm a mother for the rest of my life, you know? So, like, holy fucking shit. So, I had my freak out. Because especially as I'm going into more Black women spaces, I'm hearing the conversation of losing ourselves within motherhood or within our relationship or marriage. And I was like, you know, I'm going to be 30 in 3 months. So past, you know, previous 30 years, like it was just me. You know, and like while I've been in my committed life partnership for 3 years now, I still recognize the individual within my relationship, right? Check out my Becoming a Feminine Woman series. I have the link in the description box below. Cause I started a couple new playlists. Oh my God, I gotta tell you all the things. So in addition to Mommy Fever being a new playlist and series, I have a new playlist called the Smartt Wedding Journey, which will be documenting my wedding journey, right? And then I haven't released it yet, but I think it's gonna be That's Mrs. Smartt to You. And that's gonna be just me documenting me as a wife and my journey through that identity and role. So since we've been engaged, I have noticed that my uptick of like providing husband privileges or wife privileges, whatever the word is, catering to my man, like definitely it changed to some, you know? So I did make sure to assess myself and making sure that I was balanced in that, to make sure that I was still taking care of myself. But for the most part, I've been able to respect my individual person, right? But with motherhood, that's, you know, you can get lost, right? So last year I had my freak out and I took a year of I'm not ready. Every time we talked about kids, nope, not ready. And I took that time to really make sure that I knew who I was. Individually, me, myself, and I, who the fuck am I, right? and I grounded myself in it. I started painting. I started practicing, learning about photography. I took the, what was it, Sisters Mentally Mobilized training with California Black Women's Health Project. I started school. Wait, did I start that? No, that was this year. Well, I was planning on starting school. So yeah, I've got my room to be representative of me. There's art everywhere. Revolutionary hippie is like, the theme is obvious in my room. It's revolutionary and it's hippie as fuck. It's very me. But yeah. So that being said, and it's lovely because as I'm approaching 30, like my 20s was me discovering who I was. I was fragile. Like, that's why I moved to California. I was like, I need to be around stuff that's going to nourish who I am, my spirit. And I definitely grounded myself in who I am. Now, while identity is an endless journey of discovery, right? But like coming into 30, I know who the fuck I am. Like, I'm not questioning it anymore. And that feels so fucking good, let me tell you. So check out Rocqi's reflections as well as my Becoming a Feminine Woman series. Those really document that journey of me kind of questioning and figuring out who I am and stuff like that. So yeah, check those out. But now, I'll be 30. The next decade of my life is dedicated to motherhood. So I wanted to make sure I knew who I was before I stepped into this new identity and role. So that being said, I wrote something on Facebook, and that's how I wanted to start off my Mommy Fever series. I've been talking since I've come into acceptance of, okay, I am ready, because I know who I am now. Like my mommy fever, and I say mommy fever instead of baby fever. When I was in my early 20s and mid 20s, it was definitely baby fever. Because I was at a childcare center working. Like I was around the babies. Like I'm a therapist, so I wasn't, their childcare provider yet. But yeah, baby fever was high. But now I titled this Mommy Fever because, and I did a short about this, I feel like a lot of people, especially women, want babies. They want children, but they don't necessarily want to be a parent. And like, this is me excited about being a parent, excited about being a mother and who I want to be as a mother and the impact that I want to have on my children as their mother, which is why I am staying home with our children for the first 4 to 5 years. Because one, money, but two, it's like I've been around daycares. My sister had an in-home daycare when I was 11 years old, because she had my nephews, so that was a perfect time for her to be home with him as well as, make some money. And then my mom started her in-home daycare business when I was in high school. So I would be around, it was at my house, so I would be around the children all the time. And I took up, some roles and some assistance for her. So I'd be watching the kids sometimes, helping with their like learning. My mom was really good about like developmental learning and things. Just playing with them, so occasionally changing diapers. But yeah. And then, in grad school, that's when I worked at the childcare center. And I would go to the like individual rooms. They were separated by age. So I would go to the individual rooms and just be with the kids, but also learn the structure and the environment of the childcare providers and preschoolers and what they were teaching and stuff like that. So yeah. And now I'm going back to school for, I'm taking child development classes. So like when I say I want to be a parent, like this shit is real. Like I've prepped to be a mother most of my life. And it feels amazing to be in that place and to be that dedicated to my children, right? So that being said, let me read this because I talk a little bit about that. Also, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you have baby fever or mommy fever? Do you want babies and children, or do you want to be a parent or mother? What's more important to you and why? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. All right. I'll scoot up. Let me see oh, check out my Maryland shirt. Maryland. As I'm coming into motherhood, that's definitely going to be one of my things as far as teaching, because one, we live in California. So both, and I've heard this somewhere else, that moms are the carriers of culture because they're the ones that teach their children. So let me know if you've heard that saying before, what your thoughts are on that. I thought it was very interesting because I'm like, well, yeah, if the child's around the mom majority of the time, then I could see. Like, think about culture in terms of food, music, traditions, and which parent is having more of that role of implementing that. I don't know. I'm Black American, so we were just Black American in the house, but I haven't seen like the difference between cultures. So my fiance is a Guyanese American. So he definitely has the Black American experience growing up in New Jersey, and then also going to the same HBCU, Hampton University, as I. But he also has Guyanese culture, which we went to Guyana last year. It was my first time going. And I'm excited to, and that's the thing, when I thought about teaching my children, I was like, okay, well, we live in California, which is a different culture from both Maryland and New Jersey. So we have to make sure that we teach them what our culture is. So for Maryland, it's going to be through food, as well as like, oh, babe, come on now. And crabs. My fiance is allergic to shellfish. I'm praying that they don't get this, because I'm like, we the crab state. What? But anyways, let's hope. Okay. But also music, go-go music from the DMV. And then from Jersey Club, definitely Jersey Club dancing style, right? I love their dancing style. But yeah, so they're going to get those cultures as well as HBCU and Hampton culture. But I'm also very, very committed to making sure that they learn Black American culture as well as Guyanese culture and history. So that being said, like when I went to Guyana, like we went to a museum and I was like learning a lot about that country. And I love talking to his dad for that reason, because he's a storyteller. So yeah, I wonder about, moms being the carriers of culture, or whatever that saying is. But yeah, let's get to this Facebook post so we can talk a little bit about that. Okay. All right. Let me get water because I'm high as fuck and cotton mouth is real. Shout out to the beautiful day that it is. Like, what is it? November 17th. And it's fucking sunny and warm. It's great. California, man. Love it. Alrighty. Feeding my children will not only increase my cooking skills from using different recipes, but also introduce new foods into my diet, which I'm excited for. I'm gonna just read, then we're gonna go back. I'm already meal planning for my fiance and I gotta ask my mom if she really was strategizing about it like I am. Incorporating meal planning for our children will be interesting, as I will have to see what the balance is, whether or not they are eating what we eat. Yeah, this whole stay-at-home mom thing is a legit job. Having a daily routine, allowing for variation with meals, developmental play, outdoor time, free play, plus naps, and any cleaning just of that day is a lot. A lot. But I'm excited to give this much attention to my children. And I'm either napping when they are or when my fiance takes over, because I'm going to be tired. Jesus. Cleaning is what I'll need the most help with. which is why I want my other life partner, hashtag polyamory, to be my household partner. Help me run this shit, okay? In the meantime, don't be on me. Being a homemaker, housewife, stay-at-home mom wasn't something I imagined for myself at all. But after reconnecting to my feminine energy, shout out to my series, Becoming a Feminine Woman series, link in the description box below, I realized I enjoyed showing up for my family in this way. Working was never for my family. I don't know how people be saying it is. My work is for Black America. Being present in our home is how I show up for the people within it. I gotta make sure I'm taking care of myself for my family though. Gotta make sure I live a long and healthy life for them. Thank my fiance for that mindset altering note. My family, meaning the one I'm building, means a lot to me. A lot more than I considered before. As my purpose in life was always Black America. But my family has become an added purpose in my life. And in turn, I am investing in the future of Black America with me investing into my Black family. That's why Black love is so important to me. And all of this knowledge and experience in motherhood is going into opening a daycare center. So it's still investing in Black America more directly. Damn. I have really dedicated my life to y'all. For 6 years out of my 20s. Repeat back. For 6 years out of the decade of my 20s, I've been practicing therapy with a majority Black population. Let me just be clear. But for this next decade of my life, that dedication is for my family. I'll come back full force in my 40s. Whew! So let me know your immediate thoughts on that. That was just me posting on my personal page. I do a lot of reflections on my personal page. Because I just took my multiple intelligence test, and intrapersonal is my highest intelligence. And I was like, with my self-awareness and my reflections, that would definitely add up, as well as the fact that I'm a therapist. That definitely, I understand. And then my next top highest intelligence is existential, which is like, what is our meaning in life and the place in our place in the universe? So yeah, the fact that I am the way that I am and the way that I think matches up with what the results were. But anyways, let's get to breaking this down. So yeah, let me know your thoughts about what I said. And feel free to timestamp it. So that way, because I'm about to go break down some of the things that I said. So if I explore more about it later and I don't know if you're referring to what point, just, timestamp it, let me know. All right. Feeding my children will not only increase my cooking skills from using different recipes, but also introduce new foods into my diet, which I'm excited for. So shout out to my sister-in-law, because she definitely hooked me up with a lot of plant-based meal planning for infants and toddlers Instagram accounts. So I'm definitely thankful. I'd be all up in there. And she's raising our nephew vegan. Well, I actually don't know. Majority plant-based and vegan. I don't know if it's all. But I know they had a vegan cake, for his first birthday. So yeah. But yeah, so my fiance is vegetarian. He's been vegetarian all of his life. You may see him in the mirror in the reflection. But he's been vegetarian all his life. His parents have been vegetarians since they were like in their 20s. And then I became a vegetarian 5 years ago. Was it? Yeah, 5 years ago, but coming up on 6. But I identify now as a flexitarian, meaning I majority eat a vegetarian, but occasionally I'll have meat. So yeah. So I do plan. Hi, baby. This is my first Mommy Fever episode. I'm excited.
Congratulations.
Thank you. You're a floating head in the camera. Love you.
I love you.
What was I saying? Food. Yeah, we are trying to raise our children as vegetarians. When they get to a certain age, they'll be able to decide as far as eating out what they want to get. And then like if they ever stay with my mom, she's cooking meat. So, but that's definitely their choice. However, in the house, especially with what we are cooking, it's going to be plant-based. Or eggs for me. I eat eggs. But yeah, so that being said, I'm still new at learning how to use certain fruits and vegetables in meals. Studying different cultures' cuisines definitely helps because they have a lot more variety of using fruits and vegetables, whereas America is very meat priority dominant. Meat is the biggest portion of the meal. The sides are smaller. It's not really about the nutrients of the meal. So yeah, so I am definitely very more health conscious about the foods that I want to feed my children. And then because I'm staying home with them, I have a lot more active role as far as what they're eating. And also, this is my first child, so I don't know what I'm doing all of this. Yes, I've been around, but it's not my child, So as far as like I want to do baby-led weaning instead of the jarred foods. So that means it's basically finger foods, and then knowing how to cut them, how to prepare them to make sure that it's not a choking hazard. So I'm learning a lot. And again, it's also new ingredients essentially and different recipes just to make sure that they're getting the nutrients that they need and catering to their development. All right. As far as the meal planning that I'm doing now, this kind of goes into the wife stuff, but so it's been a journey just to get to this place, but I'm just gonna say what this place is. So right now, my fiance eats a lot of carbs because he's very active and he has a high metabolism. I was eating the same amount of carbs until my weight started going to my stomach, and I was like, oh no, we have to change this. I wasn't even eating this much carbs prior, right? So I went back to eating how I ate when I was younger, which is a lot of fruits and vegetables and not that much carbs. Like when I was younger, if I wasn't that hungry, I would just eat the fruits and vegetables. I wouldn't even eat the meat. So if I went back for seconds, it was for the fruits and vegetables. So I was destined. But yeah. So now we're eating different meals, right? But then I cook breakfast and lunch, he cooks dinner. It got to be a lot if all those meals were cooking every day. So I had to I got a Google Doc and planned the shit out. I have what our different meals include for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, as well as what are cooking options, like something I have to cook. It's going to take time. It's going to stove cleaning, all of that, or oven. And then the non-cooking or quick makes or meal preps. So those ones that don't take a lot of time, they're very quick and easy to make. It's not a lot of sweat labor, right? So I'm rotating through those options. So within a week, I'm making sure that we have variety week to week. We're not eating the same thing all the time. And then also making sure that I'm balancing so it's not so much cooking. So sometimes I'll have a quick make and I'll be cooking for him. or we both have quick makes, but then I'm cooking later. So I'm rotating the options to make sure that I have the capacity to make meals for us. And then also making sure we're eating healthy, you know? So that is definitely something that's been new. And when I figured out, like, because he wasn't eating well, and I was like, oh, like he has issues with his appetite and stuff. And it's like I need to make sure he's taking care of himself, which means I can monitor like his food and stuff, and making sure that he's getting, you know, nutrients, as well as, because he needs a lot to eat because he's going to the gym more often, so his appetite is increased, making sure he has 2 breakfasts and stuff like that. So, and I was like, stepping into that role, I was like, that feels good. It feels good that I'm taking care of my man and taking care of our family in that way, especially because that's a value that I have. I want my children, my family to be healthy physically. So yeah, if it feels really good to be in that. But that's why I was like, did my mom do all that shit? So I gotta ask her. But all right. Yes to stay-at-home mom being a fucking full-time legit job that you should get paid for. If childcare providers and teachers get paid for the work that they do, so should you. Okay? For me, I'm going to be doing passive and residual income. Ergo this video, please subscribe. Cause yeah, that's a job. And I realized I have more capacity for the kids and cooking than I do for cleaning. Cleaning, I don't have a high capacity in. I'm stronger in it than my fiance, but I need help. Okay? Cause cooking, cleaning, and taking care of the kids are 3 different jobs. Okay? Just saying. All right, let's see. Yes, I would definitely be talking more in my Mommy Fever series about like the routines that I have for the day. We have a lot of parks around us, so I'm already like, okay, we're gonna get some outdoor time, some fresh air, some sun. And then I also want to make sure they're playing with other kids because they're not going to preschool. So that, plus also developmental play. I've been, because I don't want screens for our kids. We both don't want screens for our kids. God. Sorry. Because now we're going into the metaverse and this shit is about to get real. If it wasn't already Matrix-like, it's about to be legit Matrix-like. Which I now get the reference because I just saw it. But yeah, fuck. Yeah, it's we are against screens. We didn't know better before. But now studies are coming out about the psychological as well as social impact of technology and social media. And no. Again, the foundation is health and wellness. So screens are not adding to that. We're going to have them in their life in terms of education and then understanding how to choose the entertainment and stuff like that. We plan to be real disciplined about that. But what's it called? Sorry, I got a notification. I was like, oh, my battery about to die. Gotta wrap this up. But yeah, no screens. So therefore, I need to find toys and educational forms that aren't using screens, because so many are just using screens. Do you realize how they're starting the children on screens? And it's educational, so it's good for you, but you're still on a screen. You're not in life, right? So it's like, no, I need to figure out toys and learning. Of course, we're going to be reading books, but like other sources of educational play that aren't screens. So I've been really researching that and looking into that. So that will be within Mommy Fever series. Of course, I'm talking about this journey with you all. One, for people who can relate, and others for people who can learn. But all right, let's see what else we got on this. Oh, I think the biggest realization I had from this post is one, like I really dedicated my life to Black America and understanding what that says about me as a person, you know, and how many other people dedicated their life to Black America. Like when I was 7 or 8 years old, and I talk about this in plenty of the other videos, I had a moment with my hair, and I was like, I want Black girls to feel good about being Black girls. And that's when I dedicated my life to Black America. First, it was to Black girls through writing, through books. And then it became parents and couples on a radio show. And then it was therapy. And now I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist. Just opened my Manifest Realities Happiness Coaching business. Link in the description box below. Where I provide womanhood training or coaching, as well as I have my Building Esteem skill set out now. Eventually, probably next summer, I have my having healthy relationship skill set out, and then maybe by the end of the year, intentional parenting. So definitely stay tuned, because I dedicated my life to Black America, so I'm here to help. But yeah. But seeing how much of that, and then out of a decade of my 20s, 6 of it, so more than half of my 20s has been literally like directly impacting Black America, because I've been practicing therapy for that time. So that was just like, damn, like I was serious, and then also, the fact that my family is another purpose in my life. I think that was the first time I really made that reflection, because like it's been the last 3 years of our relationship basically that I've been reconnecting with my feminine energy. So, and that's me as a woman, that's me as a wife, that's me as a mother. So that was a new realization, that my family is a new purpose for me. And that's very powerful for me, because I had been alone prior, like to have your drive be individual and then move to something family it's weird and new for me. Like that's a new drive. Like for Black America, I can help in the way, like it's more massive, so it's more like what I want to do. But for my family, it's like outside of me. Even though Black America is still outside of me, the times that I've been in my darkness, Black America is my anchor. Like my impacts and helping for Black America is my anchor, because it's like I'm here for more than myself. So I realize that. But for the direction to change to my family being that anchor is wild and new for me. But it feels good.